Your learning target today is... I can summarize a text by determining the most important ideas in that text. And today you will know you will be successful if you write the main idea as an ID verb finish, select the most important ideas from the text that support the main idea, and wrap up the summary with a conclusion. Chapter 8. Mrs. Ebel was teaching geography. Everybody in the class had a map of the United States on his or her desk. Bradley's map was different from all the others. California was above Wisconsin, Florida stuck out of Texas. He picked up his pair of scissors and carefully cut out Tennessee. He was a good cutter. The edge of his scissors never left the black line. He wondered what was happening to Jeff. He knew he was at the counselor's office. He imagined she was doing all kinds of horrible things to him. He had tried to tell Jeff at recess not to go see her. He taped Tennessee to Washington. He was a very messy taper. His piece of tape twisted and stuck to itself. He looked up as Jeff entered the room and watched him hang the hall pass on the hook behind Mrs. Ebel's desk. Then he looked away as Jeff headed for the seat next to him. When the bell rang for lunch, he shoved his map into his desk and pulled out his paper sack. Because of the rain, everyone had to eat inside in the auditorium. He and Jeff walked there together. Sort of. He's walking next to me, Bradley thought, but I'm not walking next to him. The auditorium was hot and steamy and noisy. Long tables and benches had been set up across the room. "Where do you want to sit?" asked Jeff. Bradley ignored him. He stood on his tiptoes and looked around the room as if he were trying to locate his real friends. Jeff walked away and sat at one of the tables. Bradley walked up behind where Jeff was sitting. I think I'll sit here," he said aloud, as if he didn't know Jeff was there. He stepped over the bench and sat down next to him. "Hi," said Jeff. Bradley faced him for the first time. "Oh, it's you," he said. They ate their lunches. "What are you eating?" asked Jeff. "Peanut butter sandwich," said Bradley. As he spoke, bits of peanut butter and bread flew from his mouth. "What about you?" "Tuna fish," said Jeff. Bradley swallowed his food and said, "I hate tuna fish." "My mother makes it good," said Jeff. "She chops apples in it." "I hate apples," said Bradley. He sucked the last drop of milk through his straw, and then continued to suck, making a gurgling noise. Sitting 2 tables away from Jeff and Bradley were 3 girls, Melinda Birch, Lori Weston, and Colleen Varigold. They were talking and laughing about something funny that had happened to Colleen that morning. Colleen, who had red hair and a freckled face, covered her mouth with her hand. "There he is," she whispered. "It's him." "Where?" asked Lori. "Don't look at him," said Colleen. "He's right there, sitting next to Bradley Chalkers." "Bradley Chalkers," said Lori. "I think I'm going to throw up." "Don't look," whispered Colleen. Bradley stopped sucking on his straw. "What did the counselor do to you?" he asked. Jeff shrugged. "Nothing." "Did she yell at you a lot? Was she mean and ugly?" "No, she was nice. I think you'll like her." "Me?" asked Bradley. "I'm not going to see her. I didn't do anything wrong." "She's good at helping you solve problems," said Jeff. "I don't have any problems," said Bradley. He bit ferociously into a red, delicious apple. "I thought you said you hated apples," said Jeff. Bradley shoved the apple back inside the paper sack. "That wasn't an apple," he said. "It was a banana." Jeff's face suddenly changed color, first white and then bright red. "Oh, I think he sees you," said Melinda. Lori laughed. Colleen blushed. "Come on," said Lori. "Let's go talk to him." She stood up. Lori Weston was a short, skinny girl with long, straight black hair. Melinda got up from the table, too. She was nearly twice the size of Lori. She had short brown hair. "No, don't go," pleaded Colleen. "What's the matter?" asked Bradley. Nothing," said Jeff. "So did I miss anything in class?" "No, Mrs. Ebel gave everybody a map." "I got one." "Don't lose it," said Bradley. "Mrs. Ebel wants them back." 2 girls were giggling behind them. Jeff and Bradley turned around. "Colleen thinks you're cute," said Lori. Jeff blushed. "Who?" he asked. The girls laughed. "What's your name?" asked Melinda. Jeff blushed again. "Colleen wants to know," said Lori. Then she and Melinda laughed again. "He doesn't have a name," said Bradley, coming to Jeff's rescue. He hated Lori. She had the biggest mouth in the whole school. She was always laughing, too. He could hear her laugh from one end of the school to the other. "Ew, Bradley Chalkers," said Lori, holding her nose. "Lori Loudmouth," said Bradley. "We're not talking to you, Bradley," said Melinda. "Get out of here or I'll punch your face in," he replied. "You wouldn't hit a girl," said Melinda. "That's what you think." He shook his fist. Melinda and Lori backed away. "We only wanted to know his name," said Melinda. "And what he was doing in the girls' bathroom," screeched Lori. The 2 girls laughed and then ran back to Colleen. Bradley slowly turned around and looked at Jeff, amazed. Jeff sat with his head on the table and his arms over his head. "You went in the girls' bathroom?" Bradley asked. "So what?" said Jeff from under his elbow. "Carla says." "Me too," declared Bradley. "I go all the time. I like to make them scream." He smiled at Jeff.